Ave Satanis. You're watching Sanctuary Satanica. I'm the daughter of Lilith. How's it going? I finished my Qliphoth initiation last month, and soon I will be making a video about it, so stay tuned for that. That will include the Qliphoth, Satariel, Gagiel, and Thaumiel. I just want to make sure that I get all my notes together to do that, and right now I wanted to talk about the shift I've sort of had personally. Those of you who know me, you know I've been like a chaos magician for a while. I talk about it on and off, but I talk about witchcraft more. So, as a chaos magician, you shift paradigms consciously, a lot. And a belief of mine, not a belief, a stance of mine that I've held on to was this thing against the concept of faith and against the concept of a belief. I've always been someone that was like, no, I'm going with what my experience is. If I don't experience it, there's no need for me to believe in it. There's also no need for me to deny it. So I was being as neutral as I could in that regard when it came to faith and belief. But mostly I was against it. I was like, no, there's no need for belief. There's no need for faith. Mainly because I've only seen, up into to this point, I've only seen faith and belief used as control techniques over groups. I've only seen it used to perpetuate dangerous ideas. But I am learning the value of faith as a form of trust. And perhaps if faith is the wrong word, maybe trust is the right word. But simply trusting in your gods enough to be comfortable making requests. Like, this may sound so strange to people, but like, I rarely make requests to my deities. Everything I would ask them for would be knowledge. Mainly because my attitude was, I'm a witch, I'm a Satanist, I'm a satanic witch. I should be doing things like entirely myself. And I've just sort of had that attitude in my mundane world as well. I've been sort of like, I'm not going to ask for help. I'm just going to maybe ask for information so I can help myself. I don't really want other people to feel like they have to lift me up or, do anything for me. And I also just didn't want to rely on other people. And so I didn't even realize that I had been projecting that same attitude onto my relationship with deities for a while. And recently I was just sort of, I've been getting more comfortable praying on a regular basis, in a sense that I am like, okay, I want this for my day. Like, why not just ask my deities for that? Like, I've been giving my devotions, I've been giving my offerings, I do spend time with them, I honor what they ask of me. There's no reason why I shouldn't make this request. I shouldn't make myself feel guilty over it. And they were even telling me, Lilith especially was like, if you need something, you ask me for it. Just ask me for it. If you want something, ask me for it. And just getting comfortable doing that. I'm not saying that you have to ask the gods for everything. You certainly shouldn't. You should take responsibility for your own life, especially if you claim to be a magician or a witch. And that is still something I will make my primary focus on. But I'm learning the value of prayer. And I think for someone who's just getting into all of this stuff, into alternative spirituality, I think having deities, and I know a lot of people say, oh, deity work comes later. Shut up. I think deity work should come first. I'm so grateful I did deity work first, because I learned so much, and I sort of like got carried away somewhere as a witch and felt like I shouldn't rely on my deity so much. I felt like I was burdening them when I was no longer a beginner. I was wrong. I'm learning that this is something that is valuable all the way throughout. And that's not that I didn't do deity work. It's just my deity work was very much work and not prayer. Not the trust that, like, not asking my deities for anything back. I was just giving. And yeah, most of the time, especially in right hand path things, you're going to be giving more than receiving. But I think I had internalized this thing like, oh, left hand path means like I cannot I cannot ask them of this, I cannot ask them of that. I have to do everything myself. And I think I'm learning the value of, like, sometimes the best way to help oneself is to ask for help. It doesn't mean you can't do shit. It means sometimes it's easier than doing it yourself. Like, can you fix the toilet yourself? Yeah, but it might be easier and more effective to have a fucking expert come into it, right? So, or somebody who's just, like, better at using these tools than you or whatever. Like, sometimes it's just fucking easier. And sometimes it's just the best thing to do. It's the most efficient thing to do. So I'm learning the value of that. And it's really hard for me to do that because I'm someone who's very proud and very arrogant. And I'm not ashamed of those things. But, you know, it can be hard to, like, admit when you're changing, I think. Because you're like, wow, I'm becoming the thing that I said I would never be. Like, or, like, and it's not a bad thing when you see it. You're like, oh, it's not a bad thing to be someone who now believes in this, or someone who now has this feeling. So yeah, I know that wouldn't have happened without all of my Qliphoth journey, which helps me have faith in myself, for sure. Helps me trust myself, help me see what I can do and how much more I soon will be able to do and am able to do now. And everything that led me up to that point, everything I've learned about myself. It's certainly strange, you know, post-Qliphoth. I did feel different. And a lot of people told me, like, okay, we'll have to save this. We'll have to save this for when I actually make a video about it. But before I go, I wanted to just do a little, let's say, like, a little pick a card reading. And I want to just challenge myself to do just one card intuitively. And this is collective, so if the message doesn't resonate, you know, don't force it. That's okay. You're free to watch all of them, just some of them. You're free to just click off and not watch any of them if you don't want to. But I thought it'd be fun to do that because I haven't done a pick a card in a while. Let's see. We'll base it off of, this is, okay. This is an amethyst sphere. I'm sorry that I have my colors on, so you can't quite see the full color, but this is a smoky quartz point, and this is black moonstone. Kind of see the shimmer there. That's tumbled. So between these, you'll pick intuitively which one you're vibing with, and I'll pull a card. So the first one will be the amethyst sphere. If I don't knock my athame off here. And I'll just pick a single card. And I'll use my Daemon Tarot. Goetia Tarot. You have the Three of Swords. This is with person. I mean, I feel like I'm a broken record whenever I see swords and I say anxiety, but I feel like your mind has been going a mile a minute. This is calling you into slow down. If you can, meditate for a few minutes. If not, breathe. Just breathe. Envision these things as, like, envision like a bubble around you, and these things are just touching the bubble. You can see them, you can be aware of them, you know they're there, but they don't have to touch you. That is something I'm just seeing you needing to do, whether it's a conscious psychic shield or just a visualization or just something that you need to tell yourself for now so you can handle it. But I feel like you need to be in a space where you can observe what's going on. This may be a painful time for you, mentally or emotionally, but whatever the situation is, it's complex, and just take a step back. That's what you need to do now. Having the step back will give you the key to wisdom. That's what the snake is telling me. Your feelings are valid, because these two crowns are telling me these feelings are valid. They're equal. Your anxiety is not coming from nowhere, but there comes a point where you really just have to take control of what's going on, if you can. And if you need that through like therapy or meds or whatever, that's valid too. So don't think I'm discounting that. All right. All right. The next one would be the smoky quartz. What is your message? And we have the 5 of Cups with Ami. This disappointment is an opportunity for healing. If you picked the last card, maybe this is a continuing message for you, but I'm seeing this cup here, and for some reason I understood there to be tears in this cup, and I was sort of seeing the tears watering plants around this demon. So I was seeing like this pain becoming the nutrients for something else, metaphorically speaking, of course. That it, maybe not the pain, but the expression of it, the catharsis of expressing what's going on, gives you the power to grow. So expressing your emotions is important this time, in safe spaces, in places where you feel like you can be vulnerable. Perhaps a creative outlet would help channel these feelings into something productive and something viable. I feel like a lot of people will discover talents through this catharsis. So that's your message there. And the last is the Black Moonstone. You have Satan's card. I keep the title card to represent Lord Satan. So if you're doing black flame meditations, continue doing that. That's very important right now. You have all of the tools you need. You have perhaps you even have a magical tool in mind that comes to mind that you need right now. But your mind is powerful. That's what this sword is telling me. You have the ability to direct your power. You not only just have power, you have the ability to direct it precisely. Be conscious of where you put it and why. I think that is it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I was just having a bit of fun. So if it doesn't resonate, don't force it. They seem to be sort of very succinct messages, but sometimes tarot can be like that. Sometimes it's what you need to hear. But I hope you all are doing well, and I hope to catch up on somebody else's content. I haven't even been watching content, so I hope you're doing great, and I'll see y'all again soon. Bye-bye.